Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and we're going to take a little look at the highly anticipated Absolute Batman 13. Yes, look at this glorious cover. We have the debut of Absolute Catwoman, but that's not the big surprise in this book. No. When Scott Snyder and Rick Dragotta said they were going to up the ante, they really meant it, and we're going to go for it. Glorious page by page, so there will be spoilers. Like the video if you can, and please hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. So, like I said, hang around because Catwoman isn't the big surprise. There's a few others thrown in here, and it is ramping up to a huge showdown with Bane, as we all know. And we get these flashback scenes, which have done this different color palette, and it shows Bruce and Selina Kyle, Catwoman. You know, they are very much in love. You know, they've just been to see Mr. Falcone, who is a mafia gangster who has a boxing fight coming up against their good friend Waylon Jones, who's now the Killer Croc, as you probably already know if you've been keeping up with the series. Now, they've placed a huge bet using essentially stolen gold that they took from Falcone himself. You know, if it wasn't a smack in the mouth, they were brazen enough to come see him on the golf course. They've actually betting against him, essentially. But that's what we think. Now, we jump to today and we see Bruce here. Now, he's been venomized, basically. He's been experimented on. They try to break him in Arc M and turn him against everyone he loves and make him an agent of their sort of nefarious schemes that are going on. Look at him. He is big. I mean, he was big before, but look at the size of him now. Those trapeziums are pretty much bigger than my entire chest. But that venom takes a toll. That takes a toll. Now, after the big escape from Arc M, Bruce sort of was out of it for like 20 days in hospital. But did he decide to rest? No. Did he decide to take some time off and recover, you know, his senses and formulate a plan? No. He decided to get the bat suit back on and go out there and punish those people who need punishing. Now, he's in his hideout. In the last issue, we saw Catwoman break in, take out Alfred because she needs a little chit-chat with Brucey Boy here. As you can see, there's a little love lost between them. They're not getting on. They don't seem like friends, so it shows some time has elapsed. Anyway, while old Pennyworth takes a snooze, they start talking. She says, look at us. Our ears match. I'm here because your mother called me. She goes, I'll ask her one more time. She goes, she did actually. But come on, Bruce, you've been missing for months. I was worried, all right. I came to help. And he said, I don't need your help. He doesn't want her help. And they really start clashing. Now, she picks up this tail, which is also a weapon, which looks really cool, and lets Alfred know just who the boss is around the house. It's definitely her in this scene. And he's like, don't trust her, kid. Don't trust her. And he goes, enough, Pennyworth. I don't need the advice. She's leaving right fucking now. Obviously, you can feel that chemistry between them, just electrifying the scene. And we jump to exactly that, where they go back and rekindle a flame, let's just say. Now they wake up and Bruce is looking like the weight of the world is on those huge shoulders, you know, and there are unspoken things. And he's like, he's sitting there thinking about the next few moves he needs to make. She goes, what did they do to you? And he says, is that really what you want to talk about? And she says, no. And he goes, so your helmet, it looks a lot like the gear Black Mask uses, which is what I thought it was. She's repurposed it. And she says, is that really what you want to talk about, Bruce? And he goes, no. He goes, you want to go on a date? And then they get back to it. And then we see this sort of Dark Knight Returns reminiscent sort of pose as they fly through the air. They're going to work together, right? And they're off to see some people. They're off to see the Red Hood gang, which in the previous issue, we learned that they had some kind of deal going, but Bruce has told them to stand down. And they said no, because they don't take orders from no one, not even the Batman. So they've come to have a little chit-chat. And all these Red Hoods appear at their little secret headquarters. And it says, stand down. Wasn't that your order to us? But we don't take orders from anyone, do we? And they're like, no. And they say, listen, I just want to speak to your leader. And he says, or rather, this Red Hood says, have it your way then. And orders the rest of the hoods to go at them. And there's acrobatics. We learn that her tail is not just a tail, it's an ammunition magazine clip. What do you call them when you feed them through? She starts like shooting them all down. Batman's like, what are you doing? They're just kids, don't kill them. But they're not. They're just sort of tranquilizer shots, I'm going to assume, or rubber bullets to knock them out. They're not dead. But there's still a Hood up in the tower who's about to fire an RPG at them. So Batman throws Catwoman to safety. Just as the missile's about to be fired, he just slams into that tower, pushes it down, and the missile goes off somewhere to safety, I imagine. Now you can see he's venoming out, right? And this is not good. And she's like, what the hell was that? Are you okay? He's like, get away from me now, because he knows that maybe in that state, he's probably a danger to everyone around him, friend or foe. And he's trying to regain his composure and fight the venom back. They all go, look, they realize that, crikey, maybe he's one of these monsters. Maybe he's like this Bane character. Maybe he is an enemy. We were wrong about him. Anyway, he says, wait, I told you to stand down because the truth is they almost broke me in a place called Arc M, where they do make monsters, abominations like a man called Bane. But they didn't break me. And now I'm going to destroy him. And not just him, his bosses, Arc M, I'm going to burn it all to the fucking ground. But I need your help. Because you're the abomination, man. Get him! Before that can happen, the leader shouts out, hold it, takes down their red hood and reveals who they are. I was never sure about you. I'm still not. But if you're really talking about burning down Arc M, now you're speaking my fucking language. Name's Harley Quinn, leader of the Red Hood. So what's the plan? And we get another surprise. We get the absolute Harley Quinn, which some of you have probably seen already over on Bleeding Cool and other outlets. But isn't she cool? I think she looks amazing. Some people don't like her, but I think she looks amazing. I think this is perfect. Fits in with the absolute universe. I love the character. I love the styling. I love those patches over the eyes and the Harlequins on her socks and her hands on her neck. It just looks cool, looks modern. It just fits. It really, really does. Now we jump back to Arc M, where we see Bane's having another operation. It looks brutal and gruesome. His back is cut open, and you can see that sort of, cybernetic spine in there, pumping loads of venom in. And we learn that he's got some good news. Apparently, we've managed to push your system even further. As of this moment, you're officially at maximum infusion. So, beforehand, Bane kicked the hell out of Batman. Now he's even stronger. He's at the maximum this venom could take something. Now, the doctor here says, you've never imagined a human body could reach these levels. If I may say so, it's a real inspiration working with you, Bane. You're a goddamn unicorn. Anyway, what we learn here is that Brucey Boy is supposed to be Bane's replacement. So Bane can go home, because we learned that Bane, had a terrible upbringing. He was part of a resistance movement to free his island, and he became their leader after he escaped and got rid of the bad guys. And some deal was brokered, potentially or maybe not, with the Joker. Now, what we learn is maybe, right, he's completed his mission because he wants to get back to his family. So there's a slight sort of human moment here in Bane, but don't love him too much. He's a bad boy, as we know. Now, she doesn't believe that this Batman could be turned, but he does. He believes it. He says he has to. I've given him everything. Any moment now, Batman will give in and my work will be over. So this is really, really interesting. And the doctor's called over, say you want to see this because, Batboy, he's broken into some broadcasting station and he's broadcasting a message to the whole of Gotham, right? He says, my fellow Gothamites, okay, or rather, people of Gotham, our city is under attack. Not by criminals or outlaws, but by its own leaders who've sold Gotham out to line their own pockets. They've sold our safety, our freedom. There's nothing they won't sell. They've even sold the ground beneath our feet, where right now they're growing actual monsters, horrors too terrible to imagine. I tried to show you with Black Mask from the first arc, but I made the mistake of relying on the networks. Not anymore. This time I'll show you myself, because I'm going to drag one of these monsters out into the light for all of you to see. And then I'm going to beat his ass. I'm talking about you, Bane, you little fuck, or whatever they called him. I know you're listening. Tomorrow, midnight, the old Veterans Arena, you and me alone. You win, I'll go back to Arc M and become whatever you want, but you won't win. And you, people of Gotham, you get to watch. And just in case any of you are wondering who I am, I'm Batman. Like, what a great scene. I know it's a bit cheesy and a bit corny, but you tell you what, the 12-year-old in me just grinned ear from ear when I read that panel. It was so, so cool. Anyway, it gets even better. Now, we get another one of these flashbacks. Like I said, Waylon Jones, now Killer Croc, was gearing up for this big, big fight. And we find out that Bruce actually wasn't just betting on his friend. He was actually trying to broker a deal where he falls in the 7th round, and this destroys a lot of their friendship right here. So he fires him as his coach. He sort of tells him to get out of there. So that relationship between those two was breaking down even before he was kidnapped, taken to Arc M, experimented on, and made into the monster that is Killer Croc. And it's a sad moment because Bruce does love his friends, and he keeps making these mistakes, and everyone else pays for them. Now we jump back to the present time. And Batman here is having a chat with Catwoman. She's saying, "Listen, you can't use the venom. What you're doing is crazy. You don't know what will happen to you. It'll kill you. It's dangerous, and the people around you is dangerous." He's like, "No, it's the only way I can beat him. I must do everything it takes to take him down." Right? And she's trying to convince him, and he's saying, "Listen, you ain't part of it. Just leave." And she's okay. And old Pennyworth there, he still saw at the fact he had his ass beat by her, and saw it in many ways, his pride and his physical body. So she goes, and they load up some meat here. I guess they're maybe trying to entice Wayland out. I'm not too sure. And that huge Batmobile rumbles, and we get this little bit of narrative over. It says, "See, this is the part I was telling you about, kid. The part, I think this is Pennyworth, obviously talking to Bruce. So the part you have to push through the tunnel. You stop, you even slow down, you'll get ground up. So let go of what you were, that man, soft, weak, bury him deep in the mud and become what you need to be, what you were meant to be, and rise as the monster, because this is war and there are no rules except winning." And this, it's just like, I was at the end of it going, wow, I love it. And you see Killer Croc kind of following maybe the Batmobile. Is he friend? Is he foe? We don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen next. Is he going to help? Now you can see that he's left the meat out for Wayland. Okay, and I kind of realised now, sort of seeing it again, he's putting food out there, to help Wayland, I guess. It also means Wayland doesn't have to sort of like bite into anyone innocent at the same time. But it is a gift from Wayland to show him that he cares. So I like that, because maybe if Wayland has some kind of mental capacity still, he'll maybe understand that, Bruce is still trying to help. Maybe there is hope that we can get you back to where you were. So I love this. It has got a little nods to Dark Knight here for sure. Batman calling out Bane just like he did with the mutant leader in Dark Knight Returns. It's really, really fun. It really is fun. When I first started reading this book, I was coming in from that sort of mentality of the dark Batman coming from the shadows, Alan Moore, Frank Miller style book. This isn't this. It is something entirely different. It's just fun. It's what comics were when we were kids. It is out there, it's fun, it's big, it's bold, it's a statement piece, and it really, really, really works for me. I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. The next issue, I guess, is the big showdown between Batman and Bane, and that's going to be brutal. That is going to be brutal. I reckon it's going to be a whole issue of them two just mashing each other into the ground. I don't know how the Harlequins, or rather the Red Hoods, are going to play into it. And I know there's some other stuff being snuck in, like Robins, who are actually on the side of good, maybe. We've got some other new absolute characters coming. So it really, really is fleshing out to a real full world here. It's so much fun. I thoroughly recommend it. Anyway, I will leave you with my thoughts. Let me know yours. Hopefully you'll like the video. Hopefully you subscribed. And even more importantly, like I always say, hopefully we'll see you on the next video. So take care and read more comics.